inpatient treatment is provided on a private 10-acre campus in an atmosphere of safety and peace.
We also offer workshops that the patient can come back to should they feel the safety that is provided here on the campus. It gives them a greater sense of safety sometimes.
Time that you've been there, have you had occasion where patients were out after midnight, and this is either from your firsthand knowledge or from someone on the shift telling you about it, on the graveyard shift telling you about it, where patients were out and maybe meeting someone where they can get drugs or get sex or get any stuff like that?
Form.
That does occur.
We're an open unit.
Tell me if there's anything about this question wrong. Matt was able to get up from the Meadows with his belt and walk out a door that was wide open and go down just 30 yards or so from the Meadows and hang himself from a tree.
Form and foundation.
Is there anything wrong with that statement?
Is there any fact about that wrong?
I believe that's correct.
In an atmosphere of safety and peace.
And when you said that the Meadows in 2004 was an open unit, would you elaborate on what that means?
It means that we're not fenced off. It means there's access to.
You have what?
You can walk off the premises.
Once in a while, we'll have a guy that'll leave campus, go down to Woody's, which is right down the street, get some booze, and, we usually catch them eventually.
How far is Woody's from the Meadows?
About a half mile.
Don't you have a problem that a patient whose suicide is ebbing and flowing, and he was there because he was suicidal in part, had a belt, and could just walk out the door and hang himself?
Yeah, it's extremely unfortunate, and I'm upset about it, yes.
What portion of the Meadows was supposed to be secure on the Sunday morning Matt died?
Objective form.
I don't know what you're asking.
Was there any portion of the Meadows that was supposed to be secure on Sunday morning that Matt died?
I don't know what you're getting at. Is there a certain physical area that's supposed to be secure?
Yes.
I suppose the acute care area.
At the time that Matt was a patient at the Meadows, did the Meadows have cameras in the acute care unit?
No.
At the time Matt was a patient, did the Meadows have motion detectors in the acute unit?
No.
Prior to his suicide, was it feasible for the Meadows to have cameras in the acute unit?
Form. Feasible. I don't know.
Are there any cameras that are directed towards the grounds So, for example, let's give you an example, like over towards the L10, L11 area.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So there's nowhere around. Is it directed towards the grounds?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did the Meadows have any kind of motion sensors?
I don't know.
Did they have any kind of alarms on the door that went to the outside that would send a signal with a loud beep or by any other means to alert someone that someone's leaving?
I don't think so.
Did you ever see that as a problem, that people on an acute psychiatric ward could just walk out the door
Form.
in the middle of the night?
I think it could be a problem, yes.
In an atmosphere of safety and peace.
Now, the acute care unit at the time of Matt's death should have been able to be secured with locked doors. True?
Well, in practicality, we don't do that. We have that capability, but we've done it twice in about 8 years.
Matt was in the acute care psychiatric unit, wasn't he?
Yes,
He was there the entire time he was there.
yes.
This area may be secured with locked doors. True?
Form and foundation.
It may be. We've done that twice in the last 7 or 8 years that we've had that capability of locking it with magnetic locks.
Okay. You had the ability to lock the doors where Matt was located so he couldn't go outside on Saturday and Sunday, but that was not done, correct?
I just told you, we basically don't use those. I've been there 14 years, and I recall locking them twice, once when we were just checking to see that it worked, and then one other time when a patient was pretty agitated and violent.
Okay, now on Saturday and Sunday, the door at the Meadows where Matt was could have been locked, true?
They could have been, but I just told you we don't do that except in an extremely rare circumstance.
Because if you follow this document, this level is for patients with some suicidal ideation. If you had followed that word for word and interpreted it as it states, then Matt would be on eye to eye on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, wouldn't he?
Form and foundation.
And probably 30 other patients.
As I've said earlier, if we have 70 patients, we might have 20 patients that have some suicidal ideation. As a matter of course, we don't lock those doors. The Meadows is a pretty open facility, and we deal with acuity and dangerousness mainly by checking on the patient.
The Meadows had a duty to provide a safe environment in the acute psychiatric care unit. You agree with that?
Yes.
Foundation.